have a short, like, I'm gonna rush this theory idea. I'm gonna throw it against the wall, whatever happens. I'm doing this live. Go watch me live if you want. Okay, so here's my theory that I have for Secret of the Mimic and how this all relates to the incidents Freddy Fazbear's going from Secret of the Mimic to Fredbear's Family Diner all the way up to this. Alright, this is it. I'm bored. I'm going to say it out loud. No music, no nothing. Alright, here we go. So my idea is, my first thought is, after Fredbear's Family Diner closes down, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza opens, and the old animatronics, the FNAF 2 models, are in the FNAF 1 models at the moment are still being developed and being reused. So the FNAF 1 models were built, but the FNAF 2 models we know are spring lock suits. So they were built to be people inside and animatronic due to how big and bulky and all that kind of stuff is. So eventually, it is learned that the suits are wearing down, they're not good, and eventually 5 kids go missing, stuffed in the suit, their souls possess the animatronics. Big whoop-de-doo, and they're all dead. We're gonna cut that off there. Eventually, Fazbear would... Eventually, if we're going by lore of Secret of the Mimic, we know that they now have the Mimic blueprints, they have the Mimic data, and they know that they can make better animatronics. So, they take that information, and in return, they then create the toy animatronics. My basic theory on this is that they made the toy animatronics look cuter and happier, but because they learned from the Mimic system and how the heavily modified endoskeletons and whatever it is, how they made these better models, they basically put cameras in the eyes of the toy animatronics and inputted some custom oversimplified version of the Mimic 01 and showed them what criminals were and who criminals and people. And my guess, when they say criminal database, they probably mean William Afton, since you play as him during FNAF 2. So I'm guessing they showed a bunch of pictures and said, this is a bad guy, do not let him in, hurt him on sight. Something like that. That's what I'm thinking. So eventually, during FNAF 2, that could explain why the toy animatronics are able to scan your face. They can track your data. They can... basically, it explains a lot of the weird how they are so smart, but this takes place in 1985. That kind of thing was weird to me, because in 1985, animatronics back then were very simple. They didn't really have much movement, yet these could crawl in vents and follow orders and be secure for, like, being the night shift. You know, something like that. And eventually, the animatronics would be deemed malfunctioning or broken or whatever, and they'd be scrapped in return. But eventually, the withered animatronics being their best model, that's my guess, they eventually would reuse the endoskeletons from the FNAF 2 withered animatronics, that being with the missing kids, probably reuse the parts to fix up, probably using parts of the newer animatronics to then fix up the withereds. They put them in the new suit. Bam, Five Nights at Freddy's 1. FNAF 1, I don't see the Mimic code or anything of that often, specifically. Like, that's something I find weird. In FNAF 1, they don't really use that lore drop, so I'm not going to use that in the theory I have. And yeah, FNAF 1 to FNAF 3, I really don't think there's any Mimic shenanigans, craziness going on. Because we know that Wooly Afton gets spring-locked in the suit. We know that the kids that were in the FNAF 2 animatronics get possessed and then look at the FNAF 1 animatronics. And we do know that they probably made a Golden Freddy suit. Like, Golden Freddy isn't just hallucination. we know that the old FNAF 1 suits were prototype suits, so maybe they made a golden Fredbear suit for maybe an experimental purpose, but never used it, which is why it never had an endoskeleton. Or maybe it's just me ranting about some stupid crap. I have no idea. Eventually, we then get to FNAF 4, which I think also adds in a bit of that mimic program. I mean, here's the thing. We do know a little bit about FNAF 4's Nightmare animatronics. We know they use a sound box cue thing, meaning that is also something that takes place during Fredbear's, which I should mention again is back in the 19. When did Fredbear's Family Diner open? I don't remember. Let me look it up. I think it was 1981 or 1983. Yeah, I found it. 1983. So that means that these Nightmare animatronics are using technology that are even more in the future than they are in the time. As in the what was it? I mean, here's the thing. There's two versions of FNAF 4 that we could go with. We could say that it is Michael Afton, the brother who caused the funny nibble of 87, and say that he is having nightmares about the situation and getting haunted by the animatronics. Which we could say that. We could debunk this whole thing. Or we could say that he is being haunted down by empty suits that are using these sound discs. And we know these sound discs are important because we also know that in Sister Location, the Funtime animatronics have the exact same ones. Which I should mention again, like I said in my original theory, it's weird that Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, which takes place during the 80s or 90s, around the 90s, has animatronics that could lock you inside of them in a chest cavity. No animatronic back then has it, and even the best inventors to this day can't build wire-made animatronics properly. Meaning he must be using some technology that was predating or maybe more high-tech than they have in the time. This is my point of the theory. Everything about it is weird, including that William has a freaking underground facility. How the hell do you build an underground facility linked to your house that is built under your house through tubes and tunnels that you can take an elevator? The answer is maybe he's using underground tubes and tunnels from the underground area below. Also, remember that this place has a recycling center too, meaning William has a ton of metal scrap that he can melt down. So that also adds into it. Like, there's a ton of parts and bits that I want to also add in, but a lot of those parts just don't add up. Like, a lot of the parts I want to add don't really add into my theory, because I don't think they fit perfectly. Like, I could totally add them in. I could. But I don't really know where to take it. I do know that FNAF 3 takes place after you get spring locked, which is, haha, funny William Afton. And here's the thing, we know that baby in, Pizzeria Simulator and Molten Freddy are basically the same concept, where they are learned and infused with metal and somehow alive. So yeah, we all know that all together. But here's where my biggest question comes in. It's like, it's confusing, okay? It's just a very confusing thing to think about. And then there was also Security Breach, which was the first teaser for Secret of the Mimic, which I think was a cool little secret Easter egg. I really do think it was. But the whole question was like, where does this all take place? We also know that a lot of the models from Pizzeria Simulator were related to suits from like FNAF's Secret Mimic. Like the orange elephant was become Orville, the hippo would become Mr. Hippo, Monty would be that what was it? The mascot alligator will become Monty. A lot of those old suits were reused. So the main question is like, how does this all connect? I have no clue. I genuinely have no idea how this connects in any way, shape, or form. I am talking straight out of my ass. I have no evidence. I have no theories. Like I said before, game theory can do this shit, and I don't mind. Take my ideas and do whatever you want with them. I'm just here talking my ass off about this stupid theory I made like the other day, and I am found a ton of evidence, and I am trying to figure out how they work. Or it could be overthinking and just be haha funny mascot murder bear go jump scared at MP4. I don't know. I seriously have no idea. I feel like I sound crazy because I can't fully figure out this. Like, maybe I'm onto something, maybe I'm not. I don't know. There's like a lot of cool ideas that could work from this. But at the same time, there isn't much I can rely on for proof. And I don't and this theory just kind of sticks out as I'm kind of crudely gluing bits and um bits and parts to kind of see which ones connect and which ones don't. So, whatever, it's fine. It's fine. It's just one of those things that I can't figure out. And even if I could, I probably would not get very far because I'm just having fun. I don't really know how far I would go for this theory. I wouldn't really go far for it to begin with since I don't really know where it's going to take place. But all of you can kind of like guess on whatever you want. I really don't care. Uh, that's all I really have for this stream. I kind of just want to rant for a bit, and I hope you enjoyed it. Cool. I'm in the video here.